Ron, good morning, and that's why you don't see a whole lot of investigators right out behind me, because that investigation is centered on the inside of this building. You do, however, see that crime scene tape. We're talking about a 2-minute response time compared to the close to 20 minutes it took for firefighters to get from the town of Chelsea out to the rural area. He lost everything because he lives above the apartment that many here are saying what happened was an explosion. That's what they heard. And joining me here is that man who lived above that apartment. Thank you so much for being with us and doing this. And just to give you a little perspective as to how forceful that tornado was, look at this boat that is partially wrapped around this tree. Things are a lot calmer now at Nathan Hale High School than when they were at 11 o'clock this morning, when Tulsa police say they got a phone call about a possible active shooter inside Nathan Hale High School. I don't remember the last time we had a really good snow like this when it came to building those snowmen or snowballs. Now, I made another little one here. I think he needs a little hat or something to make him look a little better. Yeah, that helped. Joining me here now is Sydney Bell. She was here last night when that tornado hit. Sydney, you were telling me you guys were taking shelter in the basement of the chapel, which has some damage. Tell me, describe what you said you felt and could hear as that tornado moved through. Security cameras next door to Coco Bongo's captured the moments Muskogee County deputies rushed to the nightclub.
It was an armed robbery call that they responded to, but we're still looking into who was exactly involved, what was exactly going on up until, of course, deputies arrived here on scene.
The OSBI says the suspect was armed when deputies got inside.
At that point, a shooting had occurred, and the suspect was pronounced deceased here on scene.
There are a lot of questions centering around what happened before deputies found an armed man inside. The lights outside the building flashing, indicating the club was open. Investigators are still trying to figure out who was all there.
We're still working with who was exactly here, how many patrons were inside the building at that time, but again, no one else was struck, no one else was hit.
I talked with other neighboring business out here who didn't want to go on camera. They tell me, though, that they were stunned to see all the police presence. The only thing they see out here are wrecks along this busy Highway 69. The OSBI says it's working closely with Muskogee County to put all the pieces together.
We're going to work on seeing what exactly occurred, why this suspect was here, what he might have been doing up until that shooting occurred.
The deputy involved was not hurt. A major with the sheriff's office tells me they're on paid administrative leave. Reporting in Muskogee, covering news that matters, I'm Scott Martin, Fox 23 News. Homes and other buildings completely wiped from their foundations and turned into a mangled mess. It's all you see in the southeast part of Barnsdall.
It sucked the door open, and then a tree fell over the frame, and I couldn't get it shut because they said there was another tornado to take cover, but I couldn't take cover because I didn't have a house and my cellar wouldn't shut.
Joy King has lived in this home for more than 2 decades. It was lifted from its foundation and tossed to the side. She embraced her family, thankful to be standing there, but heartbroken at losing so much.
My neighbor here, I didn't think he made it from the look of that, what we saw, but he's okay. He's in Tulsa. And my neighbor over here, but she's fine.
Emergency crews searched through the rubble a second time for at least 2 people unaccounted for. Mayor Johnny Kelly says it's hard to put into words how much the town has lost.
The toughest thing on me as the mayor is this is a small community. I know 75 to 80% of the people in this town. The individual that we lost, I knew him very well, and it's pretty tough.
And just to give you a little perspective as to how forceful that tornado was, look at this boat that is partially wrapped around this tree. It is absolutely insane to see, and you can also see just the different debris scattered amongst all the trees and just absolutely everything demolished. That is the scene here in Barnsdall. Mayor Johnny Kelly says really right now the only thing people can do right now is pray for their community. Reporting in Barnsdall, covering news that matters, I'm Scott Martin, Fox 23 News.
This is the first time we've had anything close to us within 15 to 20 miles It's amazing to have it right around the corner.
Carrie Wells is all too familiar with tragic things happening in her neighborhood, like this deadly house fire in April of last year.
We've had 2 house fires in the last 4 years out here that were major.
It's the main reason Chief Craig Sampson pushed to have a fire station built near the lake so people on the countryside can get help fast when they need it.
You know, if a loved one's having a heart attack, seconds or minutes are crucial. So it's a big, puts a big smile on my face that we're able to cover the people in this area, and I hope they're just as happy.
Chelsea Fire covers 100 square miles with roughly 5,000 people, not counting when they're needed for mutual aid from neighboring departments.
Our major worry is our people of our community and our surrounding area, so we felt like we had to do something.
After recent storms, Wells says a teen cut his leg with a chainsaw. She says without the fire station, that situation could have taken a dark turn.
Having them there so fast, because from what I understood, it was 3 teenagers trying to clean up for someone or the mother, but they were by themselves. So it was nice to have them just a few minutes away.
The new station also boosts their ISO rating, meaning lower insurance premiums for people who live out there.
This is a luxury for all of us, and this is good that it happened, especially for this people in this community.
Good morning on your Saturday. Thanks so much for joining us for Fox 23 News this morning. It's 8 o'clock. I'm Scott Martin. We'll get to your top stories in just a moment, but first let's check in with meteorologist Michaela Smith in the Fox 23 Severe Weather Center. A gorgeous, cool start out there and a few rain showers. Breaking news, here's a live look where Tulsa firefighters are on the scene of a fire that broke out at a home in northwest Tulsa. TFD has confirmed the house was vacant and that no injuries have been reported. The cause of the fire is unknown. As our photojournalist zooms in towards the home, you can see firefighters are still on the roof. That looks like it has completely caved in. There's a number of firefighters on the roof of this home out there. Again, this is in northwest Tulsa. We'll continue to update you as we learn more. Again, no injuries reported at this time. Here's a live look at the Waterstone apartment complex near 61st and Peoria. You can see the crime scene tape still up. Also those markers there as investigators work this scene. Fox 23's Bailey Coyle is there. We'll get an update from her in just a moment. New at 5, an inmate at the Great Plains Correctional Center in Hinton died last night. Fox 23 reached out to the Oklahoma Department of Corrections. Here's what we've learned. The department responded, quote, "We did have an inmate die last night. It was a medical episode." Breaking news, Tulsa police are investigating after a security officer shot a man at a South Tulsa apartment complex this morning. Fox 23's Bailey Coyle is live near 61st in Peoria. Bailey, police say the man pointed a gun at that security officer. Covering news that matters in Broken Arrow, the city's trying to flush out a bad smell that some people living there say has been in the air for decades. I talked with neighbors about their concerns and what's being done to get rid of the stink. The Fox 23 severe weather team's tracking the effect of flooding throughout the state. A 17-year-old who didn't think the floodwater was that high ended up with his truck going over a bridge. Breaking news, Tulsa firefighters are on the scene of an apartment fire in East Tulsa. Fox 23's Bailey Coyle is live near 21st and Garnett. Bailey, you just learned 2 people were rescued by Tulsa firefighters. A hip-hop superstar represents a green country school on the global stage. Rapper Travis Scott was photographed wearing a Sand Springs Sandites Letterman jacket at the Olympics yesterday. Timmy the Duck flew by Shields yesterday. Look at him right there. Jasmine Ramirez shared this photo of her in the 10-foot inflatable duck. Timmy only has one more stop on his tour of green country. He'll be at the Philbrook Museum from 2 to 5 this afternoon. We'd love to see your selfies with Timmy. New at 11, you could win a $1,000 shopping spree at the new Tulsa Shields. We told you the sporting goods superstore will open at Woodland Hills Mall on October 19th. You'll be busy for sure. I love that you had breakfast for lunch too. That's sometimes my favorite way to eat breakfast.
It's so good. Breakfast for lunch, breakfast for dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. 7:17 on your Friday. Maybe breakfast is on the menu for your lunch later today. Temperatures won't be too terrible. Meteorologist Michaela Smith is in the Fox 23 Severe Weather Center, also tracking some of Ron's favorite weather.
I know, y'all gotta stop talking about breakfast. I already told you guys I was craving pancakes this morning, and now you keep bringing up breakfast and it won't leave my mind.
It's almost Pop-Tart time for me. I haven't had one in a few days.
It's not Pop-Tart o'clock just yet, but we're almost there.